and welcome to the North Bank podcast. I'm your host Holly and I'm joined by Stef. Today's show is going to be looking back at yesterday's fantastic evening of football, in particular the Arsenal win, the City drop points and so on. And as we record on Thursday evening, Spurs are currently playing, but we'll revisit that one in a minute. And we will look ahead to the Mansfield game on Saturday. Just to start things off though, I've got 4 questions that I'd like you guys to consider and think about and contribute via the various social media channels. But if these 4 questions are, I'll start with the most important one, the least churlish one. Is Fabian Hurzeler the biggest baby in football? That's my first question. Question 2, have Man City got the bottle for the title chase or are they too emotional? I'm using my words deliberately here. Question 3. Now, I'd written this question down this afternoon thinking that events at the toilet bowl may render it more redundant, but that isn't apparently the case so far. But the question 3 is, can Spurs really be relegated? Are they too good to go down? And how will you feel about it when it happens? And question 4 is, how crucial might that Murillo block in the 98th minute, literally the last kick of the game, be for both Arsenal and Spurs, and of course Nottingham Forest and Manchester City? But wow, when I saw that again, I was so grateful I wasn't watching that game live. That's all I can say when Bernardo Silva crept through. But anyway, to go through all those questions and more, I am sure I'm joined by Stef, as I said. Hi, Stef.
Good evening. Those are some, interesting questions. Slightly leading questions, possibly, given what's happened in the last 24 hours. But I'm here for it. To be honest, I'm still buzzing off last night. There's been a couple of moments this season which I've obviously fantastically enjoyed. I mean, the Havertz goal against Chelsea was one, but last night it was the double whammy. It was seeing out the win against Brighton, and then just on the crest of the wave, there was just that little extra when we knew that City had dropped points as well, and it's been really fun.
I mean, the highlight of Arsenal's game yesterday happened maybe a minute after the final whistle went, when news filtered through to the stands that City's game had ended 2-2, and there was that roar, that like the loudest roar of the evening afterwards, and I've replayed that one quite a few times because it's just good. And listen, this may well come back and bite us. I mean, I sincerely hope not, but you never know. So it's even more important to enjoy it whilst it's happening, because you don't know when it will be taken away from you. Some observations from the World Wide Web after last night, which I thought might be quite interesting. So the short fuse on whatever platform, I can't remember. Are you kidding me? ? Weaver, the Brighton player, just ran into Gyökeres and fell down. Brighton free kick. Absurd. I just thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, at the time, it happened quite early in the first half. And so I think by the time we got to the instant reaction and everything that had gone on with the City points and all the stories sort of doing the rounds, I'd kind of forgotten about that, because it was a mad decision. Like, literally, the guy just falls down, having jumped, not got the ball, landed, and then fell on the floor. Gyökeres didn't even touch him, and apparently it was a foul by Gyökeres. I mean, it was bizarre. You just kind of... And the fact... I found it really funny, and maybe it speaks to... I don't know why, I get a slightly emotionless vibe from Gyökeres. He didn't even do anything. He didn't really complain. Yeah. He was just kind of like, what? I'd be losing my nut if that had happened.
Well, it's funny because Arteta says he's not quite sure what Gyökeres thinks. So he obviously plays that mask quite well.
And he's coming across as really mysterious, where if you actually looked at his head, it would just be...
Goal.
Goal. Just nothing else.
Orbinho, last night's match, and I think this is really hilarious, and we will absolutely revisit Hurzeler. Last night's match had the lowest ball in play time of any match at Brighton this season. 52 minutes and 32 seconds. Love it. Lewis Ambrose, imagine a Spurs fan watching that Murillo block live. The double whammy of a potential Arsenal title and a potential relegation all at once. I'd never come back from it. But my favourite is from Billy Carpenter. And I read this and I started reading this, and I will read it in a serious voice because that's how I read it. Oddly mixed feelings after that. We won the game and advanced in the title race, but we didn't do it in a way that pleased Fabian Hurzeler. I keep asking myself, is it worth it? I mean, I doff my cap, sir, because you had me going for the first half of that tweet, and then I thought, that's brilliant. But we didn't do it in a way that pleased Fabian Hurzeler. So my first question was, is Fabian Hurzeler the biggest baby in football, Steph?
Yeah, I mean, someone's changed his Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fabian Hurzeler is the Premier League's youngest manager at 31, and you can certainly tell by the way, because he acts like a baby. Look, it's one of those things. I wouldn't mind a manager maybe criticising an opposition's style of play, but you've got to do it from a position of strength, I feel. I think doing it from a position of weakness makes you look like you've got sour grapes. And I can't remember the exact record, but over the last 8 games, 5 defeats, and I think there's a draw in there, and then maybe a couple of wins.
2 wins against, was it Brentford and Burnley?
Brentford
Forest, maybe.
Forest.
How many? If they didn't have those 2 wins, they'd be sitting just 2 points above Spurs at the moment.
But in those games, I think it was 8 games, 6 goals. Like, if you're sitting there all holier than thou about my players would never do that. I would never be a manager that would do that kind of style of play. What you mean, a winning style of play? A style of play where your team is so hard to beat. Yeah.
Like he's got an option or choice to make about how he wins a game.
I know. As if you could choose. Make your team successful, like, in whatever form. But also, I don't know, like, you're not the great entertainers. No one's watching Brighton games going, well, they might not have won, but bloody hell, we had a good time.
Aren't they officially 4th bottom of the table for percentage time the ball's in play? We're 6th, they're 17th.
Look, don't get me started, because it's one of those things. Like, all this stuff is making me just laugh my head off, because everyone's going, yeah, this stuff needs like proper scrutiny. And the problem is, when you do put proper scrutiny,
it doesn't stack
you realise
up.
It doesn't stack up. No, that's it. It's just fashionable. People are now doing this thing because so many people are talking about it, whether it's on TalkSport or whether it's on main broadcast media. The very first thing I heard when I turned on TNT Sports, because I refused to watch loads of build-up, is Laura Woods, Arsenal fan Laura Woods, making a joke about that very thing, whether it's, Arsenal's tactics and blah, blah, blah. And I just think she wasn't making enough of a satire about it, like Billy Carpenter was with his post. It's now becoming a thing where people are just going into games going, well, Arsenal are going to time waste. So if we have a player... Now, I'm not saying that we don't do it. I'm not saying we don't do it. But they all do it.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, it's not the corners that do my head in for us, it's the throw-ins.
Throw-ins are rubbish. Our corners are amazing.
We do take too long on throw-ins, and it does frustrate me. I've said that. I mean, that goes back to Tomiyasu getting a yellow card at Crystal Palace for
absolutely
delay.
Yeah, what was that? Last season before? Yeah. Oh, honestly, yeah, we've said it in the past. We do waste our own time and sometimes kill our own momentum. Show me a team that does any different.
But it's someone who said it. I can't remember who said this, and it's absolutely spot on. Every other team can, reconcile Manchester City winning the league because that's what they do. They've spent all the money. That's it. We're winning it in the process of, or threatening to, and they hate it because they want it to be them. It should be them, but it's not. They can't, they see us on a similar plane as them. Like, you're Liverpool. Like, I mean, I had a student today, a Liverpool fan, a real diehard Liverpool fan, saying how he was gutted when the Chelsea goal was disallowed in the last minute against us. I'm like, why? I said, this is what I get so...
That could stop you getting into the Champions League.
You want...
People have lost their minds.
And then it's clear that comment that I just mentioned, or that observation I mentioned, rang true. It's like, no, because they don't care if City, us winning it makes them feel worse. Yeah. And that's the issue. Like I'm talking about your Chelsea, your Spurs for obvious reasons, your Liverpool fans, the real national desire for us to not win the league is because it's just born out of pure jealousy. I mean, the open goal thing's bizarre as well because we are the joint top goal scorers in the league and only Manchester City have scored more open play goals than us. And since Christmas, we have scored the most open play goals in the league. So it doesn't even take a great examination of the data to see the lie in everything. Now, I'm not saying for a second that Brighton performance was anything to write home about, but it didn't need to be. And all the statistics of the game, like, let me go through the stats. So Brighton had 60% possession. We had to our 40. They had 11 shots on goal, 3 on target. We had 7 shots, 2 on target. They had an XG of point.
Can I just pause there? They had 60% possession and they had 3 shots on target.
Better than that.
Where the problem? What?
Yeah. No. There's a better stat than that. Just to but people should. Martin Keown was great. He did call it out, and he needs he doesn't toe the party line, being the party line being the broadcaster's line. They had 4 corners to our 3. They had 29 touches in our box to our 18. But Saka's goal was on 9 minutes, so that early goal would have impacted the pattern of the game beyond that. No, but the stat that I'm gone about. What was it? Oh, where is it? I think it was from the 68th minute. Brighton didn't have a shot on goal.
And you're chasing the game.
Yeah.
You're not 100% away from the relegation zone, and it's so compact. You put a couple of runs together or whatever, you can maybe even knock on the door of European places. And they chased it because they blew themselves out. Because they had this plan of going to disrupt Arsenal. It didn't work because we got an early goal and then they couldn't break through. 3 shots on target when you've had 2/3 of the ball, just shy of. I mean...
And nothing after the 68th minute.
And a manager who prides himself apparently on beautiful, aesthetic football. Like, what are you doing?
And even his complaint about us time wasting last night. The Opta put out this... the stats from, and what's really good is there's been a real pushback from the nerds, air quote, from the nerds online to that, and it doesn't take much, as you've just said, to prove the lie to the narrative. And so this one, including all set pieces, so goal kicks, free kicks, corner kicks, throw-ins. Okay, the average time it took Arsenal to get the ball back in play was 31.4 seconds. Okay. There are 380 games in every season. There's been roughly about 290 games so far this season. Okay. That 31.4 seconds sees 195 games where teams have taken longer to get the ball back in play. So it's like top third, quickest third. And that's the game he said we were time wasting in. I mean, if I was the interviewer after the game, I would have said to him, sorry, are you questioning the integrity of David Raya?
Yeah.
I'd love to, that an interviewer would have the gumption, the courage to actually say that and not just allow whoever the manager is just to peddle their own narrative. So are you throw it back on him? See how he'd react to that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. So we've agreed he's the biggest baby in.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
My second question was, and we'll come back to Brighton, I'm sure. My second question was about Manchester City, and then bottling it. But I obviously use that word and that term in jest because it's been thrown at us a lot, and they were playing at home to Forest, and I thought it was worthy retort to everything we've had to suffer recently. But when their team was announced, I'll go through their team. Donnarumma in goal, Nunez, Diaz, Guehi, Ait-Nouri, back four, Rodri in front of those. Then what appears to be a real disconnect between defence. I queried it in the WhatsApp group before the game started yesterday. You've got Foden, Silva, Cherki, Haaland, Semenyo. And my takeaway was I think that forward line would be too much for Forest to deal with, and that Forest's forward line won't have enough about them to take advantage of the flimsiness of that defence. With just like the back four's okay. Nunes I don't rate, never rated, but Diaz, Guehi and Ait-Nouri's been getting better. But only having Rodri and not a back to his best Rodri either as a protector in front. I know Bernardo Silva does a lot of work, but he's an offensive player. Sure, yeah. Foden, Cherki, Haaland, Semenyo. And we know, and they only made 3 substitutions in that game as well. And Marmoush stayed on the bench, and they're chasing a goal, and he didn't even come on. Savinho and Doku came on, and the substitutions were quite late in the day. And we know that Bernardo Silva, and the way he's talking about the 50-50s as Rodri did before him, they're rattled, and they're emotional. Do you think that the roles have reversed somewhat in terms of squad, team profile, mental resilience?
Yeah. And I think it's been interesting. A few commentators have sort of talked about the experience and the stability of the two different teams, because our team has been together a bit longer. You know, there have been a few players added to City. Guehi one, Semenyo another. Semenyo has hit the ground running, it's hard not to deny that. Cherki is another one as well, who's had some really good high moments and then not, or been kind of flat. I think the thing with the Forest thing yesterday, and obviously I didn't watch the game, I've just seen some highlights and looked at a few stats, is City had plenty of chances, and we'll probably look at it as one of those games on a different day. It would have been a much more comfortable result. And I think I'm glad a lot will be read into it, because, like you say, what it does is heap the pressure on them. Were it earlier in the season, people would go, okay, you just got a bit footballed in that moment, you know. Morgan Gibbs-White scored a brilliantly improvised goal. I don't think I fully appreciated it until I saw it again today a couple of times. And Elliot Anderson hit an absolutely brilliant finish as well. But like I say, City had their chances. Maybe a couple of the decisions were quite harsh on them as well, as we were mentioning. But yeah, I'm just liking the fact that the position's on them, and they're talking like they are the underdogs who aren't catching a break against the big behemoth that is Arsenal, apparently.
I know, yeah, who knew?
Yeah, I know, right?
I think, Chris, you can read out Chris's thoughts on Brighton game, but he mentioned something I've written down here as well, that we play before, Man City play next. Man City's... I'm going to go through Man City's fixtures in a minute, but they play away at West Ham in the evening. I think we play home to Everton in that. No, I think our Everton game is 5:30, and the Man City is 8 o'clock. Yeah. We could be 10 points ahead, and that is real scoreboard pressure.
Yeah,
and I think that has to be motivation for us now.
So what Chris said was, he said Brighton game. Only watched highlights in the knowledge we'd won, and glad I did, because I'd have been having kittens otherwise. Yesterday was about those what-if moments. What if Saka's shot didn't get the little deflection to score? What if City had won it at the death? Give that Forest defender who cleared off the line a medal, which I quite like. So a 7-point lead again, and a chance to go 10 clear Saturday, like you said, the week before City play. Points on the board, more important than games in hand right now. Just keep winning. Here, and that's it. We've just got to keep piling on the pressure. I'll throw you a question. Okay, how many games is it left? 8. and they've got 9.
Yeah.
Do you see either team being flawless?
No.
No, I don't think I do either. But like
I
you
see.
say,
But my emotional response to that is I see Man City winning every game and us not. But that was the case before. Yeah, that was the case before. But there's nothing in this season to date. Well, if you're asking me logically, pragmatically that question, then we have a better chance of going flawless than Man City.
Okay.
Look at the games they've got left. They've got to go to Chelsea, for example, go to West Ham, go to Everton.
So have we.
No, not Everton.
Go to West Ham, I mean.
Yeah, we've got to go to West Ham, yeah, absolutely.
I see both teams dropping points at some point, but we've got that buffer. It's as simple as that.
I'd settle for drawing our game against them. That'd be a nice 2 points dropped.
2 less points they can gain on it.
Yeah, that's a big 2 points drop because everyone keeps banging on about that game as if it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to win it. Laura Kirk-Francis did say that about something that Chris said about give Murillo a medal, that Ian Wright, you'll have to step back and wait your turn. The next statue outside the Emirates is Murillo. What was that? Yeah, Brighton's final shot of the game came on the 68 minutes. I found where I'd written that down. Big Gabby from Squawka. Big Gabby, he made 14 clearances yesterday. That is a Premier League high for any Arsenal player in the last 10 years.
Wow.
So we must have been under the cushion the first half that I didn't see.
We really were. I mean, I said it in our instant reaction pod straight after the game yesterday that Brighton were good. Their build-up play was great, but they weren't clinical enough in the final third. 3 shots on target kind of says it all. But at the same time, we defend incredibly well. You know, those blocks, those clearances are because, yeah, they were able to disrupt our build-up play from the back, but ultimately, you know, we resisted. Because we're very good. Because these tilts at the title that we've had have been built on solid defence. And there is no shame in that because other teams have done it loads of times before.
Defences win titles.
Look at Chelsea's Mourinho team. People have got very short memories. There's a whole generation of people who didn't live through that. It was painful to watch. But they were so good.
And they spent the most money of anybody else as well. So that was the issue I had with it. That to have spent that much money and to be playing such turgid football.
Sure.
That was my issue with it.
And people will say, "Oh, yeah, but Arsenal have spent money." It's like, yeah, but ours is
not
equivalent to everyone else.
Yeah.
Ours is equivalent to everyone else, and we've done it by our own means.
But aren't we like the 4th highest wage?
Something like that, yeah.
So we're not even, and that's the most accurate barometer of where a team should finish.
Yeah,
and we're
but that
4th.
doesn't fit the narrative, Holly, does it?
No, of course not. No team, I like this one. I don't know who wrote who wrote this. No team has fewer yellow cards than Arsenal this season, yet we're ruining football.
Yes. We play fair, and although again, I'm going to counter it with what the naysayers would say. Yeah, that's because the refs give you everything, innit? And yet we can point to loads of decisions.
I tell you what, we've bloody well earned this over the last 3 seasons.
Because bad refereeing is everyone's problem.
We always said that. We've
always said it. You know, even just this midweek that we've had. So we were saying just before we started recording that City probably were hard done by because there was a moment when Elliot Anderson sort of kicked the back of Rodri's leg. He was given the other way, bizarrely. So, you know,
well, he'd already had a shot, and I think that was it. He'd already had a shot, and so and that is something that does annoy me a little bit. Is just because the players managed to get a shot away doesn't mean there's no foul committed.
Yeah, it hasn't been caught late or whatever.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And we can admit that because ultimately, you know, refs are getting quite a few big things wrong.
Okay. On Man City then, before I get on to Spurs, because I'm trying to delay until the result is a foregone conclusion. There's 77 minutes gone. It's still 3-1 to Palace. Man City's next few games, they are FA... So we only play... I think we play 3 league games in the next 40 days.
Yeah.
And I think that's great because we have a lot more fun in the other competitions. Sorry, I find the other competitions a lot more fun because I'm not personally as invested in any of the other competitions. Don't read that as me not wanting to win them. I do, but you ask me now. You win one trophy this season. What is it? I don't even hesitate. It's the Premier League. I don't. It's not. I don't care about any of the others, but in comparison to the Premier League, the others are very much distant. And that includes the Champions. And I know that I appreciate the players may not feel that way, but it is the Premier League for me. It's been a long 22 years. So Man City play FA Cup away at Newcastle on Saturday. On Wednesday, they're away in Madrid. On Saturday, they're away at West Ham. On Tuesday, they're home to Madrid. And on Sunday, they play us in the League Cup final. Now, we've got the same number of games, but we're playing Mansfield in the FA Cup, Leverkusen in and Real Madrid are losing games at the moment. They're not the force. They're a name. You know, if Man City play the game, not the team.
Play the team, not the occasion.
The occasion. They'll be absolutely fine, and I think they will. And I want Man City to get through in that game. Tight. I want it to be tight, but I want them to get through because I want them playing Bayern Munich before they play us in the league. Then there's an international break. So that's a really tough run of games for City up to the League Cup final against us. Then there's an international break. Straight after the international break, hopefully, and there's a few ifs here, a few permutations that have to come to fruition. They're home to Bayern Munich. I'm hoping, not Atalanta. They're home to Bayern Munich. I can't remember. That's the Tuesday or the Wednesday. That's undecided yet. They're away to Chelsea on the Sunday in the Premier League. They're away to Bayern Munich. So they're home to Bayern Munich in the first game. They're away to Bayern Munich on the Tuesday or Wednesday. And then they're home to us on the following Sunday. Our two league games are home to Everton and Bournemouth in that time. So we only play... I might have that wrong. I think we're
in
only...
their own right, but boy, does that look like a tough schedule for City as well.
Yeah. A lot of away games.
A lot of away games, a lot of big occasions. And ultimately, it's a bit like, you know, you just have that creeping doubt. We were all incredibly worried after we had our 2-2 terrible second half against Wolves and managed to come through the next three games, all very difficult with victories. And so City, having dropped points at home to Forest, will now be stewing on that. Newcastle, who will be absolutely buoyed, having won in injury time.
Oh, can we talk about that goal?
What a spectacular goal.
Oh, that's my favourite goal of
What's
the
his name?
week.
Hurzeler. Oh, my word. I mean, he almost falls over in trying to keep the ball in on the side.
He started it way back on the edge of his own penalty area. I mean, wow. But the way he took it, the way he used Maguire as the shield.
It's a beautiful curl. Yeah, great goal. And to win it in injury time against United
with 10 men.
With 10 men, absolutely, will be brilliant. And they'll carry a lot of positivity.
And Newcastle on a really bad, wretched run of form as well. So a big boost for them. Yeah. But that goal, I just loved that goal. If you're asking me what goal I would love to have scored this week, I know Gibbs-White scored a good one, Anderson scored a good one, but the Hurzeler one.
Can I ask what percentage of enjoyment is because it was against United and took the point away from them? I'm
not going to lie here, Steph. If I said anything less than 100%, I might be lying.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's just like... just on the City fixture list and our fixture list, we play both our league games before them. So, if they... Let's assume... I'm not... This isn't a given, but we beat Everton. Then before they kick off against West Ham, and West Ham, who are fighting for their lives... And
in half-decent form.
Well, and with a realistic chance of... I mean, a winner... The way it is now, I don't know when Tottenham play that weekend, but they could really... There's a chance they could leapfrog Spurs with a win against Man City. Let's think it into existence. City could be kicking off that game away at West Ham, 10 points behind. They would have two games in hand, but scoreboard pressure. Then let's say they win that game, that's fine. The following league fixtures we're home to Bournemouth before they are away at Chelsea. Can we please be 10 points clear again as City kick off that game? If Bernardo Silva, with 13, 14 games to go and a 9-point deficit with a game in hand, was emotionally and concerned that anything other than a win was curtains, well, with 6 games to go,
exactly,
a 10-point lead with a game in hand, I mean, it wouldn't, but it would almost render, if they were to lose the Chelsea game, it would almost render our match at their grounds redundant, almost.
We said we wouldn't look too far ahead, but here we are, and I've just looked ahead as well. You said about West Ham playing Man City, and West Ham could leapfrog Spurs before Spurs play. They do play before Spurs next week when we go back to the Premier League. Spurs are away at Liverpool. Spurs have got it all to do.
Is this the season that just keeps on giving?
Honestly. Because I think it's slowly dawning on me that Spurs are so much. It's been one of those things. What is it? How did I go bankrupt? Slowly at first, and then all of a sudden, there's a very famous line. And Spurs, how did you get relegated? Well, slowly at first, and then all of a sudden, it's creeping up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've written there: are Spurs too good to go down? Then my follow-up question was, do you want them to go down? And someone asked me that the other day. Said, well, like, do you really want Spurs to go down? Like, the rival. Like, yeah, of course I want them to go down. I think it would be bloody hilarious. But they'd come straight back up again. And like,
well, they would. I saw a brilliant. Someone sent me.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. I know what you're going to say.
You said it. You said it as well. So the EFL have voted to expand the playoffs from 4 teams to 6, and Paddy Power posted that this is good news for Spurs.
Yeah, I love Paddy Power.
It's so good, isn't it? It's so good. Would they come straight back up? I don't know. It's going to throw the club into turmoil. So. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when they've signed, they broke their wage structure with Conor Gallagher.
Yes,
Didn't even start tonight.
I know, it's crazy. I was just going to say, yeah, someone posed me the question, and people were talking about, Spurs going down. The majority of people are just like, it'd be hilarious, it'd be really funny, especially as Arsenal fans. And then a couple of people said, yeah, but we want those 6 points every season.
Yeah.
But
do you know what? On a serious note, they do take 6 points off Man City or 5 points off Man City a lot of seasons. True. And just a final word from me on Brighton. Can I just say thank you to Brighton for allowing us to win 3 games we've played against them this season, because I had forgot we beat them in the League Cup. And also, can I thank them for beating Manchester City at the start of the season and drawing with them more recently. So they've actually taken 5 points off Man City. So cheers, Fab.
I don't know. Have we conceded a goal against them?
No, 2-0. Oh, yeah. Was it 2-1? 2-0? 2-0 in the League Cup, 1-0 last night. What was the league game? Don't remember.
I can't remember. I'll have it here somewhere. Oh, it was 2-1.
2-1.
Oh,
so there's currently 4 minutes plus stoppage time remaining at the Tottenham game, and it's still 3-1 to Palace. So I think that means that because Palace were in danger. If Palace had lost, they were dragged back into this relegation battle. So if you look at the bottom, I'm discounting Wolves and Burnley. West Ham currently sit in the relegation zone. They're on, all 3 teams now will have played 29 games. West Ham are on 28 points, but with a minus 19 goal difference. Forest are on 28 points with a minus 15 goal difference. And Spurs would be a point ahead of them, only 1 point above the relegation. But their goal difference is only minus 7. So at this stage in the season, that is worth an extra point should teams finish on the same number of points. But you say Spurs are away to Liverpool next league fixture. I don't suppose you can quickly get who Forest are playing, because West Ham are playing at home to Man City.
Forest are at home to Fulham.
Well, Fulham did us a favour letting West Ham win, so let's assume Forest. I mean, so in theory, Obviously,
there,
we need
isn't it?
West Ham. If West Ham were to beat Man City, Spurs and Forest could beat Fulham, Spurs would be in the bottom 3 that weekend.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. I mean, that'd be almost worthy of a separate podcast.
What's also quite funny is they haven't got FA Cup to take their minds off it this weekend, but they are in the Champions League next week. It's just so weird.
You've got to think not for long.
You've got to think that, but I do wonder. I mean, the thing I've been saying that yes, I'm not doubting that Frank was probably a bit like Emery for us. You know, a great coach, but just maybe for the wrong club environment, whatever. Tudor is like a desperate kind of filler before the end of the season, and ultimately Spurs' issues go way beyond whoever the sort of coach is, and I don't think enough has been made of. Look, they've got injuries. Like we've said this before, that is a major concern. With players like Kulusevski, Maddison available, yeah, they'd be a different prospect. But there is a lot of deadwood in that squad. And I think there's a lot of players in that squad whose attitude pretty much stinks as well. That actually, as soon as something goes against them, they're not up for the fight. And that's a dangerous combination when confidence is low as well. When confidence is high, it wouldn't even be an issue. But
I do like their new manager bounce though.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. It's more like a new manager splat than anything. But yeah, so I can see those players with the bad attitudes. They'll turn up in the Champions League because they'll see themselves like on the main stage or whatever.
How many of them will still be there next season? I know apparently that they have all got 40%. Reductions written into their salaries if relegation occurs. I wonder, do Arsenal have that in their contracts with these players?
There must be something. It's got to be a factor.
But you'd think that would be motivation enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think when you're earning that much money.
Yeah, true.
And you'll probably just get a move as well.
So someone sent me during the Spurs game, I think it must have been at half time, someone sent me a picture of a row of mock Tudor houses, which I thought was really quite funny. Igor. Just pretty in case. There was needed explaining that one. I have very intellectual friends, you see.
Obviously.
If there are any of them listening, they'll wonder who they are. Okay, shall we look? What was my next question? Can Spurs really? Yeah, I mean, realistically now, do you think they will go down?
No, I think the goal difference and the teams below them.
Okay, but think about current form. I mean, by current form, since Christmas, they're the worst team in the league.
Oh, I know.
So Forest and West Ham, although West Ham have tougher fixtures. But Forest and West Ham are playing better than Spurs currently.
I even heard of a stat, which I haven't verified at all, and I really hope it's true, that in the last week, Wolves have won as many home games as Spurs have in the last calendar year in the league.
Since April, that was it.
Or April, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, that's right.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Well, I hope so. It feels true because Spurs' home record has been so appalling. That
they had. That's right. When they came to us earlier in the season, they were sporting their best away record in the league.
And what
was the score in that game?
4-1.
Oh, 4-1. Okay. Not that good then.
I, for one, enjoyed that.
I'd hate to be reminded of it.
Nice.
Okay, well into stoppage time, I think Spurs have lost. And my fourth question was, how crucial do you think that Murillo block could be for both Arsenal and Spurs and City and Forest, I guess?
I mean, yeah, those moments, considering the reaction, and just as much as we all know those moments when your season goes belly up, because, for whatever reason, that last night felt weird. Like there was a real ecstasy and joy around the whole incident. Obviously didn't see the block live, but then have come to realise later how significant that was.
I mean, I got nervous watching it.
Right. Yeah, because I didn't
replay,
switch over.
even though I knew, I knew the game had ended.
Ah, okay.
And I got nervous watching it. I thought, how have they missed this?
I mean, it's mad stuff. Yeah.
it was nice to see or hear the Arsenal fans singing "We're going to win the league." A bit too soon, but
well, I mean, the
nice.
people I've spoken to, because obviously a lot of the people I'm in the supporters club with and that go on the minibuses with, they were all there and they were in raptures and just almost speechless, emotional wreck. One guy who comes on the bus, Ken, TNT cameras picked him up during the game. And because it was a nervy game, and Ken's a big guy, like he used to be a bailiff and all sorts of things, okay? But he stood there like that, arms folded, and he's doing that nervous
Twitching.
kind of, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. But then later on, watching Match of the Day with the highlights, when the pundits are talking, they're showing like clips in the background of the scenes at the end, and panning across, there's Ken again, up on his seat, arms going like this, celebrating his head off because the news has come through that Man City have dropped points. I mean, what football does to people is just amazing. And the reason I'm totally addicted to it is because those highs are like nothing else.
Yeah. And I'm going to exercise a note of caution here. I remember a similar moment at White Hart Lane in 1999. Yes, I am referencing the year that does not exist. Arsenal v Spurs. Can't remember the date, to be fair, but it was very close to the end of the season. We were going head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Manchester United for the league title. Manchester United were playing at Liverpool the same night and had gone 2-0 up, I think. And we were 1-0 down at home to Spurs. We turned that around and won 3-1, and Liverpool came back to draw 2-2. And the atmosphere was similar, probably akin. I mean, the different context for the games, but that was the night we felt. But then, like, we went to Leeds. I mean, this is like quite close to the end of the season because we went to Leeds the next game, I think it was, and
Jimmy Floyd, bloody Hasselbank. Was it Jimmy Floyd?
Kaba Diawara for us missed like about 8 goals. No, that's my memory of it. I don't know. It was. I think it was 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah. Ugh.
But anyway. So look, we're playing a nice little break. We're playing Mansfield, the lowest ranked team left in the FA Cup, away from home, which is really cruel on us. I can't believe we didn't get a home draw, and it doesn't mean we can't lose the game. You're going to the game.
I am going to the game, and I am very excited.
Yes, you must be, because I'm assuming it's a new ground.
Absolutely. Another one to tick off. I think I'm up to around 50-ish grounds now out of the 92, which I'm quite pleased with. And yeah, Mansfield, nice little place just north of Nottingham. And it should be really good. I think Arsenal have got an allocation of about, because it's such a small ground, only 10,000 capacity. So because of you get slightly more. For a cup game, we're taking about 1,500, 1,600 fans, so really lucky to be going and can't wait.
Be a good old atmosphere. Now, Mansfield are on a dire run. They've won one of the last 10 games in all competitions, and that was against was it Sheffield United or Burnley in the last round?
Burnley.
So, and it was at Burnley as well.
It was.
So they've done well. And who's the Mansfield manager? I didn't know.
Nigel Clough.
Yeah. So Cloughie. I mean, he may have been there for years. I don't know. I just didn't realise it.
We must have faced a Nigel Clough team before. Must have, because he had long spell at Burton, if I remember rightly. Short spell at Peterborough, I think. Yeah. Derby,
I don't know. So they are 59 places below us in the pyramid, but that's below our first 11. They drew 0-0 last time out at Rotherham, and they drew 2-2 the game before that. So they've drawn the last 2 games. So they're pretty safe. Well, I say they're pretty safe. I've written it down here. What are they? They're 5 points ahead of the relegation zone, but there's quite a few teams between them and the relegation zone. They're on 41 points. They're 4 points ahead of Wigan, who we beat in the last round. Does that give you an idea as to their current level, for instance? I looked at their lineup and their subs bench. I didn't recognise any names. I don't know, like former Premier League players or youth team players at big clubs. I genuinely don't know. Picking the team for this was bloody difficult in a couple of positions. What have you? Do you want to read Chris's team
I will read
selection?
Chris's first, and I think all of us are doing that thing of like, we obviously want to massively ring the changes, but because of injuries here and there, so the long-term absence is obviously Murillo, but short-term absences, we've lost Saliba, Odegaard.
Ben White's the curiosity.
Ben White's a curious one, yeah. He seems to not be able to come back with any kind of assuredness. Waneri's obviously out on loan. And yeah, so anyway, Chris has he says, first of all, Mansfield, pleasant distraction, which is nice. And then he's gone Kepa in goal. Back four of Salmon, Mosquera, Gabriel, Calafiori. Midfield three of Eze, Norgard, Mars Lewis Skelly. And then a front three of Madueke, Jesus, Trossard.
Okay, I've got about 70% of that team. What's yours?
Mine is pretty similar. I have changed one or two things. So I've got exactly the same back five. My midfield is slightly different because I've gone Lewis Skelly, Norgard, but I've gone with Havertz from the start. And then a front three of Madueke, Jesus, and then Martinelli instead of Trossard. Just because I think Eze is going to have to play if Odegaard's not 100%. Salmon's coming in because, like you say, White's not available, but Timber definitely needs a rest. I'd prefer not to pick Gabriel, but here we are. There's not many other options. You can't move Calafiori inside and Lewis Skelly there because then you have to play Eze.
I've got a team that doesn't have Big Gabby in it because I just don't want him to play. Okay, so I've got Kepa in goal. I've got Marley Salmon at right back. I've got Mosquera and Calafiori as my two centre backs and Lewis Skelly as my left back. My midfield is Norgard, Havertz and Eze.
Yeah, okay.
Just Havertz dropping deeper.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't think he's got a whole game in him. And my front three is the same as yours, Madueke, Jesus and Martinelli.
Yeah.
And again, you've got to acknowledge the opposition. I don't want to lose this game because of what it might do to our momentum. Yes. I really want to win this game. And it just keeps that good feeling, the good vibe going. Mm-hmm. The further we can go into each of these tournaments, these competitions, the better. Obviously, the first one that comes to a conclusion is in a couple of weeks' time against Man City. But I want to be winning every game up until that point, obviously. I want to win every game. But I don't think we should take this lightly. I don't think we should be casual about it. And with those players, there's motivation for those players as well. Demonstrate to the manager that you can deliver. Eze, who has started 3 games in a row now. Spurs was superb. Chelsea, not enough for me. Yesterday, I didn't see the first half, but he didn't do enough for me in the second half. So he's got another opportunity here to rediscover. He played really well against Wigan and then was annoyed that he didn't start the next game at Wolves. Wasn't that it? Or was it Brentford?
Yeah, it was
I
Wolves.
can't remember which one. So, and again, obviously Murillo would play, Wanyeri would play. Max Dowman was on the bench yesterday. So there's an opportunity for him to get some minutes, but I can't imagine that would be from the start. No. He has played an under-21 game, or hasn't he? Or an under-18 game. So he has actually had some competitive football as such. What's Chris gone for a scoreline?
4-0.
Same as Wigan, right. What's your...
I've gone 3-1.
So have I.
Have you?
3-1. I have 3-1. I must be top of the league now because I predicted a win.
Chris. We don't count the cup games.
Oh, did he get... No.
Chris got a correct score.
Yeah,
2-1
okay.
nervy win Chelsea.
Right.
I'm way off.
Yeah. Fine.
I've been too optimistic this season. I have.
That doesn't make sense.
I've been tallying up the points total were I correct every game, and I'm way ahead of what we've actually got. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, right. Because we've only lost 3 in 54.
I know, it's crazy.
Which is ridiculously good.
It's just mad. We are different gravy.
And yet, as a fan base, we're having to kind of proverbially mentally hold each other.
Yeah. I do quite like the fact, there's a brilliant piece, I haven't fully read it yet, but I think a few people are writing about siege mentality now, because we're at the point where everyone from the wider football world is so laser focused on the fact that we're so close to winning it, and they're not really happy about it because A, it's not
jealousy.
them, and B, and they're jealous, and all those sorts of things. So I think Tim Stillman on Arseblog referred to the term siege mentality, and just trying to basically, stand up to it, because we know that all this stuff about set pieces and time wasting, and we're not saying that we're completely guilt free, but it's all bullshit, really, to kind of like push this agenda that they don't like the way we're winning because they don't like us winning, basically. And so we've just got to kind of own it a little bit. It was interesting then that Arsenal relaunched their app with a picture of an Arsenal corner flag on the moon. And
the shop.
Some kind of slogan about like every corner there's...
Did you see the
Arsenal.
shop?
No.
Arsenal Corner Shop.
Oh,
it's
right.
called Arsenal Corner Shop. And who's Arteta's serving. He's behind the counter. And Gabriel is stopping people from getting in.
Brilliant. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like embrace it. Embrace
We've got
the
to
noise.
own it. Yeah. So again, I heard a brilliant analogy from a football pundit listening to must have been on the radio earlier, who was saying, like, if this was boxing, it's like when Arteta was asked about set pieces, and he says, no, I think we should score from more set pieces. We probably don't score enough for the effort and the time we put in, and blah blah blah, and the delivery of Rice and Saka, which are so good and so consistent. We would probably want to score more, and it's like that thing of everyone else is like really annoyed. Well, let's say you're a boxer. Arsenal in this instance are the boxer, and they're doing something that the other boxer doesn't like. Well, if that other boxer tells you that you don't like it,
keep doing it.
you're going to keep bloody doing it, aren't you? Exactly. So what your job as opposition is to find a way to combat it. So the fact that you've had to resort to grappling tactics and doing your own kind of S-housery at corners, that's not our problem. It's your problem. Bring it on.
No, absolutely. What was the George Graham after we got the points docked in?
Yeah, I don't like us. It's
was
part
it?
of our history.
Yeah, it's who we are. People don't like us.
People
and
don't
that's
like
fine.
us, so just got to own it, embrace it. One thing I am hoping for, and we'll talk about it nearer the time, is Arsenal fans are very nervy. We all are, of course, because we all want it as well. But those home games we've got, is it 5 now?
Yeah.
5 home games. We need full on, what was it, Fulham 3 or 4 years ago.
No matter what
positivity.
happens in the game,
Yeah.
it has to be 100%
Yeah.
support.
You know, anyone who's listening and goes to games, nearer the time when it comes round to Everton, I'm definitely going to be trying to encourage people to get to the concourse, get singing when you're in your seat, you know, baying for every decision, cheering the team on, and singing every different player's song.
Like the Chelsea game. Like the Chelsea game
Chelsea was good.
That because we did not play well, certainly in that last 20 minutes. But there was no dissent. It was It was full on support for Arsenal. It was anti-referee, anti-Chelsea player. But that's the way it should be. It should. The Arsenal Stadium, our home game, should be the most hostile environment for every visiting team.
But also the most encouraging environment for our own.
Yeah.
As well. That's what I want. Yeah. You know, optimism is a choice. I know I'm Mr. Pessimism and Eeyore, but actually, yeah, we're in such a good position.
We are. We're in a better position now than we were 26 hours ago. I
have to say, I actually messaged this to my friend, the Wolves fan that I keep talking about. Hello, Ryan. About if tonight went the way it did with Spurs losing, this might be, in context, the best set of results in the Premier League that I've ever witnessed. Because
Liverpool lost as well.
Liverpool losing to Wolves. That's what I mean.
Chelsea won.
Yeah, but Chelsea beat Villa and made that whole race for top 3 and 4 very.
Yeah, but I don't want Villa to drop out.
You don't?
No, I don't, because I want them in it, because that means that one of Chelsea,
Liverpool,
United,
or Chelsea,
or Liverpool have dropped out.
I get that.
And it could have been better last night, and very churlish of me to even consider this, but Forrest had a headed chance at 2-2 from a corner, and he absolutely should have scored it. Had Forrest won that game, that would have been better, because they'd be above Spurs and we'd have an 8-point lead. So that's not very, I know that's slightly greedy on my part, but
just a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
but
considering none of us were expecting Forrest to do
I'd take
anything. The draw was amazing. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, right. Lovely. Well, you're going to Mansfield on Saturday. That's great. I don't think we're going to do an instant reaction for that game. Just logistically, we can't manage it. But we will be back on Sunday for a look back at the Mansfield game and a look ahead to the Leverkusen game in the Champions League. I think we're away. Is it on a Wednesday?
I can't. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's midweek the
It is
following week.
Wednesday,
We'll know by Sunday what day the game is.
Absolutely.
And listen, keep enjoying the feeling, the journey. This is good. It might not last, so enjoy it whilst it's here. Remember it. It's what we're here for. It's why we're supporting this team for these moments, this experience compared to when Arteta took over. And enjoy the next couple of days. Enjoy the distraction of the FA Cup. I shouldn't call it a distraction. It's important. It's been an important competition for us. We are the record holders of the FA Cup. And I want to add to that this season for sure. But we'll be back again on Sunday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.